If you're looking to deal an easy 300 damage, why, I have a deck for you. Hisuian Sneasler V is a fantastic basic dark Pokemon that can easily get a pretty significant damage dealt on your opponent's active Pokemon. Dire Claw is the attack we're going to try and use for a dark and a colorless energy. It does 80 damage times the amount of special conditions placed on your opponent's Pokemon. Now, we can easily get 3 different special conditions placed on our opponent's active by using Tri-Colored Scales Butterfree. This card allows us, when we put our Butterfree into play, to put the Burnt, Confused, and Poison status condition on our opponent's Pokemon. That is incredibly strong, and not only does it get us 3 status conditions, which will get our Sneasler attacking for 240 damage, it also deals an extra 30 thanks to the Burn and the Poison. That is 270. Now, you mentioned 300 damage, Mitch. How do you possibly get to there? Well, we obviously have Choice Belt as well, so if your opponent's Pokemon is a V, VMAX, V-Star, then you will be able to deal 300 damage that easily. It is super simple. The only issue is you need to get your Stage 2 Butterfree out, but luckily, both our Caterpie and our Metapod in this deck all have adaptive evolution. That means that the second that this Pokemon is played down, it can be evolved. We can scoop up a Butterfree from the field and evolve it into a Metapod, and then finally a Butterfree super easily because of that adaptive evolution ability. Very strong. The only other issue we might encounter with our Hisuian Sneasler is that our attack cost is a little awkward. A Dark Energy and a Colorless means that if our opponent has taken a knockout last turn, we might not necessarily be able to get that attack going, but we do have access to the brand new Dark Patch. This card has been around before in the past. It's also been kind of in similar forms with Aqua Patch and also Metal Saucer. Essentially, it allows us to attach a Dark Energy from our discard pile to a Dark Pokemon on the bench. That means that we can easily accelerate energy onto our benched Hisuian Sneasler V and ready for a big attack that turn. Apart from that, the list is super simple. We're playing a 2/2 Bibarel line to try and get some extra cards drawn thanks to Industrious Incisors. Allows us to draw up to 5 cards in hand for each of the Bibarel that we have in play. And we also play a copy of Galarian Zigzagoon as well. We mentioned we can get to 300. Some Pokemon in the format like Mew VMAX or other VMAX Pokemon have slightly more HP. Zigzagoon plus a couple of Scoop Up Nets should be able to get us to that nice number. Apart from that, the list is relatively self-explanatory. Of course, we do have the Trekking Shoes in the list, which has seen a large increase in play recently. Take this one out onto the ladder, I reckon. We'll see if we can get a game or 2 with Sneasler. I hope we can, because this is one of my favourite Hisuian Pokemon. I'd like to see it do well. Not a great start for us, but we do have Quick Ball and Ultra Ball, so let's use the Quick Ball here to grab ourselves a Sneasler. We'd also really like to see a copy of our Bidoof here as well. Let's get rid of a Dark Energy, grab ourselves that Bidoof out. We don't need to find the Butterfrees until much later on, so we can afford to wait. We'll Dark Patch onto the Sneasler and then pass, leaving ourselves with Professor's Research in our hand, if you don't say so. Is that the word that I'm looking for? Thank you very much. I'm not entirely sure. Looks like we are playing up against Arceus here, and potentially with Water Energy and Bidoof, we could be looking at an Arceus list that plays that tech Jolteon. So we'll see if we do find ourselves an Eevee at some point. Although, to be fair, our opponent knows what we're playing, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just go into the Arceus and start attacking. Top decking the Dark Energy there is very good. Then we can research, draw a fresh hand of 7. See what we can do. No solid hand here. Very awkward to say the least. In fact, not particularly happy with this at all. I think we might need to just pass here. Sacrifice the Zigzagoon's not ideal. Maybe we scoop up the Zigzagoon. Maybe put one of these Bidoof into the active. Then we can pass. We can just leave it at that and hope that our opponent can't find a boss to take a knockout. Luckily for us, if they do find boss, they also need to attach 2 Water Energies to their benched Arceus. Because of the Big Charm, they cannot knock out this Sneasler with a double Turbo Energy. They will only be able to do 180, so I think we might actually be safe, but You never know with these things, and our hand's not particularly good, so we might find ourselves losing very quickly here. We'll have to wait and see. Also, thank you very much, everyone, for coming along. I appreciate it, as always. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And let me know, by the way, were you a person who watched the Melbourne Regional Championships over the weekend? Did you see it? If you did, tell me how you thought it went. I think that the stream was rather nice, personally, but then again, I saw it from behind the scenes, so it was a little bit different for me than it would have been for you. But if you've got any feedback, please let me know. And if you want to see more streams like that or more videos like this, then please leave a like as well. That would be brilliant. It's the single most powerful thing you can do to support your favorite content creator. Here comes a whole bunch of different pieces of equipment. We've got a big charm coming down onto the benched Arceus, and then a knockout on the Bidoof in the active. We are hopeful here that we can draw into literally anything. Ironically, we can actually get pretty close to a knockout here if we find a... oh, that's incredibly good. Alrighty then. I was about to say, as long as we can find like a... as long as we can find a Butterfree piece. Let's ping 10 damage to the active. I will attach an energy to the Zigzagoon, I think. It's not ideal, but I do want to draw as many cards as I can. We'll Industrious Incisors here for 3 and try and find ourselves a supporter, which we've done. We've got a Marnie here. We can also Quick Ball if we'd like. Might be worth doing. We can get rid of the boss's orders and grab ourselves a Caterpie. It's probably not that bad. Maybe a Sneasler is a better option. Let's grab that. And then we can probably play this Ordinary Rod. We don't really need to, though. Let's just Marnie. Hopefully we can find, like, a Stadium and Evolution Incense or something like that. Or just Evolution Incense and Butterfree. That will do the job. That was very unlikely, by the way, that happened. But it's okay. We can go for the Metapod here. Metapod has Adaptive Evolution, so we can evolve straight away. Butterfree coming down. Now our opponent's Arceus will have 3 status conditions on it. They'll be burned, poisoned, and confused. We will also use Dark Patch to get an energy onto our Sneasler on the bench. We have a Scoop Up Net and another attachment. That means we can do 270 of the active. The 10 plus the 20 will get enough damage on this Arceus to take the knockout. The issue here is going to be, can we get another one? Hopefully we can. Hopefully we can, although, to be fair, I think we might be running slightly low on Scoop Up Nets. We've already used a couple. So we might need to replace the Turffield Stadium and hope for the best. Unfortunately, our hand will not be staying the same. We're going to lose this Turffield because our opponent is playing Marnie. We'll shuffle our hand, put it on the bottom of our deck, and draw 4. And I tell you what, that's a pretty... It's a pretty good hand, presuming that all we want to do is poison, burn, and confuse our opponent. We've got literally everything that we need here to be able to do that. That's pretty impressive. They're going to take a knockout. We do need to find an energy, but we do have Bibarel as an option. We can theoretically get ourselves a knockout, and we need to find Choice Band here as well. So we're going to need to ask for a little bit here. A little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. We'll throw down our Stadium, then we can use a Caterpie from our hand. We'll use our Level Ball just to empty out that Metapod from the deck. We can get that into play. Plus, we can use then the Butterfree and the Sneasler in our hand. Let's Industrious Incisors here. Maybe we might be able to find some other stuff. Don't necessarily want to use the Butterfree unless we absolutely have to. We will get the ping with the Zigzagoon. Let's put that onto the active. I suppose we can go for that Butterfree now. We're in trouble, though, if we don't find energy plus Choice Belt from this Marnie. So we will need to thin a couple of cards out. We will grab the Caterpie, and then we will grab the Metapod using the Stadium. We can Quick Ball. I think that should be fine. We'll get rid of the Metapod. We have access to Ordinary Rod, I believe, and then we can Marnie. Hopefully, we'll find ourselves the pieces that we need. That isn't it. That is not it. Okay, so now what do? Put the air balloon down onto the Bibarel, and we can choose to retreat if we want to. It's probably not a bad idea to put this Sneasler in the active. The Poison Claws, it doesn't matter, of course, but the extra damage from the Poison and the Burn this turn could be enough. Our opponent does stay burned as well, so maybe we can get a knockout on this Arceus next turn. We do need to find access to energy though, which is not great. Now we are in a position where if they do get a knockout, if they take a KO with this Arceus, then they will be able to win the game before we do. But that's okay, we've shown the way that the deck works. It's a good deck, and they've flipped heads. They've just flipped heads. That's cruel. That's horrifically unfortunate. That's just really unfortunate that that's happened. It's okay. Let's put the Bibarel in the active. There's the poison, there's the burn. So we'll be able to take a knockout, presuming that they stay burned, but they don't. Not ideal. Okay, let's Trekking Shoes here. Missing that knockout last turn might have been an issue. We've got a Scoop Up Net. We've got a Quick Ball as well, but the issue is going to be, can we get all the pieces that we need to take a knockout? We don't have access to any more Choice Belts. We don't have access to much, really. I need to scoop up this Butterfree, I think, to be able to get a knockout at some point. Go for the Arceus as the KO, potentially. Do 240 damage. We're going to have to just take the KO and hope that our opponent doesn't have any energy left. There's not a huge amount of energy available to them. This is not looking particularly good. Hopefully we can draw into a draw supporter off of our Bibarel here. Yeah, this is just not worked out the way that we wanted it to. We do have Dark Patches in out. All Industrious Incisors. Hopefully we can draw 4 cards and one of them's an energy. 2 of them are energy, and Dark Patch also means that we can attack again next turn. Now the issue here could be, though, that we are out of options when it comes to getting an attack with Butterfree. We have 0 Scoop Up Nets left in the deck. So we might just need to die claw here and hope for the best. We get the KO, which is good. Now what prizes do we unprize? Choice Belt is good. Dark Patch not necessarily as good. If our opponent doesn't get an attack off this turn, is there a way for us to win? I feel like missing that turn, that one turn that we missed energy, could potentially be our undoing here. It's not ideal, but that's okay. That's okay. We still have a game, because our opponent needs to find. They need to find. I was about to say they need to find boss. They obviously need to find energy. They've gotten rid of boss. They must have another one in their hand. Surely they wouldn't discard a boss. There's the other one. Okay, so now we're looking for a potential double turbo energy for them. If they get it, then they win the game. We did unfortunately lose this one, but that's okay. We won in our hearts. Because we missed an attack. We would have won this game if we had been able to get that. That's alright, we'll try one more time. Time to go again, this time a much better start from us, and it looks like we are playing up against an Ice Rider deck of some description. Do we have the cards we need? We've got lots of them. Energy is a little light on though, so we need to make sure that we utilize those well. We'll attach to the Sneasler and then probably leave it as it is. We don't really need too much more here. We might Quick Ball though. Grab ourselves another Caterpie, just in case our opponent somehow does get a knockout. I'm not expecting them to, but they might, and that's the key. We have the Ultra Ball next turn to get into the Bibarel, and we also have Metapod and Turffield. So if we want to go straight in for the evolution, we can. Top decking something like a Scoop Up Net would actually make our hand incredibly strong. Although, to be fair, we don't necessarily want to knock out a Sobble, and that might be the position that we're in here. Yeah, we might need to overkill a Sobble. This is not ideal, but definitely workable. We can manage this. Okay, so into double Metapod. Okay, so we're going to Ultra Ball here. We're going to get rid of Metapod and the Stadium. We need to keep one of those Metapod. Grab the Bibarel, and then we can play that down. We've got the Metapod in hand, so we might evolve that as well. Put that onto the bench. Bibarel for 5 cards here, and we'll see what we get. See whether that makes an easy decision for us or not. We have Boss, but we do not have the Butterfree or the energy. We do have Choice Belt though, so if we'd found an extra card, we may have been able to get a knockout here. Doesn't look like it's going to happen this time. We can go for the Level Ball though. Grab ourselves... Let's go for another Caterpie. I don't mind that. throw that onto the bench. We can then Scoop Up Net the active Caterpie and put the Sneasler there. This seems very weak, though. Taking a knockout on this Sobble, though useful, is not necessarily the strongest play we could make. We're not going to be making the play at this stage. We will need to Trekking Shoes into something here if we want to get a KO. That's a card, though. So we can go for the Butterfree now. It's probably worth doing. I mean, taking a prize is better than not doing anything, but it feels very awkward here. If we find ourselves getting knocked out, we lose a Choice Belt and 2 energy, which is not ideal. We'll attach to the Sneasler, and then we will Dire Claw. 240 damage into the Sobble. Very acceptable. And, yeah, not ideal, because now they can easily just welder, attach, knockout, and then we will be in deep trouble. That's okay. We're gonna ride it out. We're gonna see what happens. I'm not worried, and neither should you be. I'm worried. I'm very worried. We're gonna go for the Drizzile, okay. So, Shady Dealings from Drizzile finds a Melanie. That's what I was worried about. This is the situation is happening, everyone. This is the situation I was afraid of. It's all happening. It's not good. Energy onto Calyrex, an energy attachment, and a Ice Rider V Max will end this Sneasler's dreams of starring in whatever Broadway musical production it wants to be in. It's essentially a human being. And it puts you in a box in the game, so that's very awkward. Friend, why are you running? Why are you running? Why are you running away? Why are you running away there? Looks like there's not a lot of options for our opponent, and they're going to give us a chance. Alrighty, well, how do you feel about winning the game? I feel pretty good. Suddenly, this becomes very easy. We'll go Metapod. We'll go Butterfree. Then we can get that Poison Burn and Confusion on the Suicune in the active. We're going to Metapod in the discard pile, play down the stadium, and then play that stadium. Grabbing the last Metapod in the deck. We'll throw that one down onto the bench, and then we can Industrious Incisors. We're taking a knockout on this Suicune here, but the question is, can we find an attachment for our Sneasler? Kind of want to keep that Butterfree. I don't want to discard that necessarily. Let's Quick Ball. We'll get rid of the Bibarel. Don't care about that one. And then, yeah, I think we're just good to attack. This is not ideal, because we do need to use Dark Patch next turn. But you know what? 2 prizes. It's pretty good. I'm happy with 2 prizes. Zigzagoon's a good card, definitely in this matchup. Airborne's a good card. Oh, well, I don't know what we were worried about. I don't know what we were worried about. I don't know what we were worried about. Inteleon. Alright, I've seen this play before. They're going to Quick Shoot and deal 20 damage to one of my Pokemon. I don't know which one. I don't think it's necessarily relevant on any of them. Maybe the active? Can Rider the High King take a knockout? That's where they're putting it. Alright, they still need an energy though. They're gonna Leon. Then they get a Crobat. Ooh, this is an aggressive play, to say the very least. Definitely workable. I definitely like it. But the question is it going to be useful for them? Power Pad, put the Leon back in maybe? And the Melanie? Okay, fair enough. Sounds good. They would have got that Melanie on the ladder last month. I don't know what's on the ladder this month. I think Shadow Rider, maybe? I don't know. I've not paid enough attention. I probably should pay more attention. What's going on? But I don't. Okay, well, I mean, this game's over. They can't find energy. I feel really bad, because this is the way that the deck is supposed to work. We should have probably had a couple of our Pokemon knocked out by now, though. So it's fine. We will just do the things. We'll shuffle the cards, put the Metapod back in the deck. We'll get the Turf Field. I feel bad, because it's not the way that I want to show off the deck. But I think, to be honest, if you merge the 2 games that we played together in your mind, if we merge them together, I think you'll see one good deck in there. So I think that's what you'll ultimately see. But that's okay. We are pretty much set here. I don't think we need to do anything other than just take a KO. So we will Dire Claw. And you never know, maybe we can still get a big 320 HP knockout on this Ice Rider. We've given them energy, or at least I hope we have. So maybe, just maybe, we can find ourselves 320 damage and then redeem the video by showing the fact that this deck can take knockouts in one shot on a Calyrex VMAX. 320 HP is not impossible. And we actually have a lot of the pieces that we need in our hand if we do want that play. We need Zigzagoon. We need to ping the opponent's active Pokemon twice, so Scoop Up Net. We need, obviously, the Butterfree, which we can get through Turffield Stadium. We need Energy Dark Patch, which we both have in our hand. The only card that we are missing here is actually Choice Belt. So if we find Choice Belt, then we will be able to take a KO. I like that, and hopefully we can show that the deck's actually capable of doing it. So if nothing else, if you see nothing else in this video, it's the fact that we can take a KO on a VMAX in one hit. It's the Ride of the High King. They have managed to take the knockout, so we will try and get that play here. We're going to need to use our full extent of our abilities here, Marnie and Industrious Incisors, to get access to all of these cards. Let's grab the Butterfree first, though. We know we need to play that down in order to take a knockout. So we will burn, confuse, and poison our opponent's active. Then we have Quick Ball, so we can use that Quick Ball, discarding a card that's not particularly useful, like that Bidoof. Grab ourselves the Zigzagoon, play it down, ping the active. Then we can use Scoop Up Net, we can grab the Zigzagoon, we can play it down, ping the active. And then I think, you know what? We may as well just absolutely go for this here. Let's go for the Scoop Up, not the Scoop Up, the Dark Patch. Meant to say Dark Patch. Dark Patch. And then I think we're probably fine to just, you know, we can Scoop Up the Zigzagoon again. And we may as well just ping it down one more time. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, we're gonna get it from here. We'll Industrious Incisors. Draw 4 cards. There's the Choice Belt. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming along today. This has been How to Take 3 Prizes with Hisuian Sneasler. A very exciting Pokemon. 330 damage in the end, thanks to our extra ping. And, I think we've redeemed it, honestly. I think we did a good job. Thank you very much to all the people that stayed until the end. You guys are absolute legends. Appreciate all these people over here who are members of the channel. If you'd like to join, there is a join button down below. But more importantly, if you like this kind of content, then watch this. Keep plugging Regigigas. It's really good. It just won the Japanese Championships. You should definitely check it out. Beats Palkia. That's for sure. Regigigas.